here and get the recording going. Okay, here we go. So I just want to start this team Zoom. It's the middle of June, and just remind everybody, I know you guys all know, and people will sound like a broken record, but that's the way it's got to be. Kansas City is a month away, and we just found out, the company just announced that Erin Brockovich will be one of the keynote speakers. Darren Jensen did a live with her today. I did not get to see it. I was tuned in long enough to know that Darren stated, hi Candy, hello Liddell. Thanks everybody for coming on. So I was on long enough to hear Darren Jensen say that they've never had someone on the board of directors as a speaker at the event. So that's super exciting. Plus, most of us know her history because of the movie that was written about her. I can't remember the name of it now. So I just want to remind you of Kansas City. I'm going to talk more about that a little bit at the end. There's something I want to read for you. The influencer program ends the end of this month. And just a reminder that the starter kit is free until the end of June as well. Okay, one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is I have started using a new website when I share the ABC report. This was shared with me by Marisa Harrelson, and since that time, I've heard of a lot of other people using it. We have the biohackingyourbody.com. This one is called Biohack, and oh, now I'm gonna completely forget. Biohack and Activate. Let me double check now. Yes. Biohackandactivate.com, and it's spelled out A-N-D, biohackandactivate.com. This was created by Kim Kobensky and Marilee Maricich. They're both Pro 8s in the company. They have beautiful hearts, and this site is really nice because it not only has the ABC report, but it will also lead you to the studies, but also to stories. It will give you some testimonials, some compliant testimonials on the site, which I think is so helpful. And then it does not lead you back to one of their sites. It tells you to, oh, hi, Paula. It tells you to get back with the person that invited you. So I think that's awesome. I wanted to give you that information. Okay, today you guys are going to be, you better be impressed, because before we got on here, I got really fancy with, not this, with PowerPoint. Look what I made all by myself. I made this triangle. I made it bigger. I put in text boxes and all that stuff. Okay, so this was shared with me today, and this is called the Freedom Triangle. I don't know where it stems from. I know Marisa Harrelson was just down at an event that was down in Mexico. Lourdes Rosa, she was down there, and Marisa got to watch Lourdes in action with her team and the way she spills into her team. And this is one of the things that she teaches on. And it's called the Freedom Triangle. And I wanted to teach this to you tonight because I think in the end, when we're talking to people or when we're going to talk to people, it is all about our posture. And that posture comes from your belief. It becomes from the belief in your company, the belief in the industry, and the belief in yourself. Because at the end of the day, people say yes to you. They say yes because they trust you, right? That's completely what it is. You are the product here. You are the product. And I want to build that as much as I can, even if tonight it's about just giving you a shot in the arm, which I hope I can do. That's what I want to do. So if you look at this inverted triangle, the Freedom Triangle, you see on the left it says CV. So that's about finding the correct vehicle for you. And the correct vehicle for all of us is LifeVantage. We are all LifeVantage distributors. Somebody was kind enough to share this with us. We all said yes because we all have some kind of dream that we're hoping and searching for. And sometimes you're super connected to it, and sometimes you're not. Now, the CB, that's a correct business. And the business that we are in is network marketing. Now, when we look at network marketing, there's something I want to share with you. in your back office, this is over on the right. I don't want to go back because I'm afraid I'm going to lose it. But if you just log into your back office, over on the right, there's a bunch of things that are listed and it says industry facts. This is right in there. So it talks about direct selling. It talks about the network marketing business. And look at this, you guys. Direct selling in the United States represents $35.4 billion in retail sales in 2018. It was a 1.3% increase over 2017. Says this new research from the DSA's Growth and Outlook report shows that there were 6.2 million direct sellers and 36.6 million customers during 2018. By dividing that 35.4 billion in sales by the 6.2 million direct sellers averaged $5,702 in retail sales per year. Now you can look at some of these statistics, you guys, and look at the gender, right? 75% are women. And look at the age brackets here. So we've got basically the 35 to 44-year-olds. Those are the ones that they've gotten out of school, they didn't get a job with their degree, now they're working for somebody else, and they're tired. And now they're not sure if there's a way out or if they're going to get out of debt, if they're going to have retirement, if they're going to have pension, and now they're looking for that plan B. People are looking, and these statistics prove that over and over again. Sales by product category, what's at the top? Wellness. What are we in? We're in wellness. You guys, they are saying that the nutrigenomics industry will be a $600 billion industry by 2020. That is 1 year away. $600 billion industry. And lucky for us, every single one of us are a part of that industry. That is such a gift. I don't want you for a second to minimize or take for granted what you have your hands on here, you guys. That Nerf2 activator, that mitochondria product, the fish oil, the mitochondria product, you know, that one, our probiotic, all of our products, like they are cutting edge. Look what Darren Jensen is doing. Look at the people that are coming on board to LifeVantage because of what we have and the science behind it. And here's the thing too, when we talk about, or I'm getting ahead of myself, but this is in your back office. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my cool inverted triangle here. So network marketing, we know we're in the right industry. I was gonna go over Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant tonight, but I'm not gonna do that tonight. But I have a video that you could watch, but he talks about why he believes that network marketing is better, because 95% of the world is spending their time either trying to be a small business owner and paying a ton in taxes and actually giving themselves another job, or working for someone else for safety and security, and they're not finding that anything is safe and anything is secure anymore. So then if you look at being a big business builder and you work hard for 5 to 10 years, even if it's 15 to 20 years of your life, and you then can create passive income that allows you to take your foot off the brake, a foot off the gas, and then now you can start investing some of that money that you've made to now create that legacy for your family. That's a cash flow quadrant, and that's why he says network marketing is better, because it gives you passive income, and it's one of those industries that pays you to learn. So that brings me to the bottom point of the triangle, and that's you. Every single one of these tips, on a scale of 1 to 10, you should rate where you are. And you need to get yourself to a point where you are at a 10 on every tip. You're at a 10 with your belief in this industry. No one's going to shake you. No one's going to ask you a question that makes you wonder why you're a part of it, or why, okay, maybe it's not that good. You know what you know what you know. LifeVantage, the company story, the timing of where we're at. We have not hit momentum. The trends, we are on top of every single trend that there is. It is not a fad. The wellness industry, the nutrigenomics industry, they're only going to get bigger. We have those trends in our pocket. The products, nobody gets better with our products. So you have to have 100%, you have to be a 10 with your belief in LifeVantage. No other shiny object, no other person with makeup, skincare, whatever is going to shake you for 1 second. You know that you found your home. And then when it comes to you, I have to tell you guys, you have to be a 10 in your confidence. And the way, just before you got on here, I was talking to Katie. We were talking about the fact that sometimes you don't feel confident in yourself. And people read that, right? They read that in a heartbeat. And then it makes them, nobody wants to work with somebody that is uneasy or doesn't believe in what they have. Again, you are the final product. Your business will grow at the speed of trust. And when you're growing you, it doesn't happen overnight, right? You're going back to school to be a professional in network marketing, to be a professional in LifeVantage. The minute you say yes, now you're actually going back to school. Now you're learning, and LifeVantage is going to pay you while you're learning. And that takes time, just like being a doctor, being a piano specialist, whatever. It takes time. But as you grow yourself, you grow that posture, but you cannot sit around and expect to grow. You can't sit around and expect to gain the posture you need for someone to say yes to you. You have to put in the action. I'm telling you, on Tuesday nights sometimes, especially when sometimes there's not a lot of people on, I think ahead and sometimes I'm like, what's my content for tonight? Like, what am I going to talk about? And sometimes I may not feel as energized, but the minute I get on here and I start talking about what we have, it just brings it. Like, I can't wait to teach. I can't wait to share with you. Like, I just want to do it. And it's the same thing when I present, right? When you guys talk about LifeVantage, when you show that ABC report, when you get in action and emotion with it, doesn't it excite you? It should really excite you. And if it doesn't, then we need to revisit some things, right? I'm going to take this off because I want to see you. I think I am done. But were you impressed with my inverted triangle? All by myself, people. Anyway, I won't tell you how I did it. I don't even know how I did that. I was pressing buttons. Anyway, you are the biggest product. This is about you growing yourself. But again, you can't sit around and watch TV. There's no money. There's no, what do they say? There's no PV in TV, right? You have to be reading books. And more than anything, and we'll talk about this at the end, it's what I'm going to close out with, is you have to get yourself out into the community. Whether you become a part of the Chamber of Commerce, you join networking groups, you get more active in church, you become the team mom for your kids' sports. You have to do those things that make you uncomfortable. We have an intern at our church right now. Her name is Stormy. She's 18. And you guys, when she talks, literally, she's shaking and she's literally moving in her chair. And I asked her the other day, I'm like, tell me your story. Like, tell me why you're here. And she's like, I wanted to do something that would take me out of my comfort zone. She lives in a very small town in Idaho, and driving into Boise to get to the offices scares her to death. She hates traffic. Like, she had to pull over one day because she went down the wrong way, and she was sobbing. And this guy pulls off and is yelling at her while she's sobbing, right? These are the things she's going through as she's stepping outside of her comfort zone, trying to grow herself. And even though she's even been there a week, like, little things that you can see, that's what you have to do. You can't just expect people are going to show up on your Facebook. You can't expect that God's just going to plant them at your front door and they're going to say, I heard you had an opportunity. You have to get out. You have to put yourself out there. You have to be kind to people. You have to want to start conversation so that people want to know what you do. They want to trust you and be a part of what you're doing. Okay, so really quickly, I didn't know she was coming on, but you guys, you've heard me say Paula's name like every week. She, I think, enrolled 13 customers last month. I don't know how many distributors. And then again, this last week, 3 more customers. Like, it just continues to happen over and over and over again. So I text her and I'm like, Paula, like, we got to know what you're doing, sister. So Paula, I'm going to unmute you in a second. I just want you to, we don't have a ton of time, but just real briefly, just share with everybody like why you believe in this and how you're sharing with people and how you're getting so many people to say yes. I mean, let's be honest. Okay, I unmuted you, Paula. Share with us.
I'm going to start out by saying it's because of my sickness. People ask me how I'm doing. First thing that comes out of my mouth is, I'm doing great. I feel great. I have more people tell me, you do not look like you have cancer. You are inspiring me already just talking to you. And they will ask me what I'm doing. And I tell them, well, there's this product. It's a nutritional supplement that I decided to do besides doing all of the poison that I had been putting in my body for the last year and a half. I feel so much more energized. I do so much more, and people realize that. So when they hear what I'm doing, I'm so compassionate about this product that when I talk to them, I haven't been in it that long, but they just look at me in awe, and they instantly, I want to do it. I want to try it. I want to try it. And what I try to tell them is, whether you buy it from me or not, it's not going to change my life and the fact of like my health. I'm taking it. I think everyone should take it. It's not that expensive. It's just like buying a vitamin, if you will. And I'm not out selling makeup, selling home interior, home and garden. I'm not selling jewelry. I'm telling them I want to sell health to make you healthier, make you better. I already have testimonies. My dog, myself, my husband, my mother. And by using these testimonies, I'm so excited that it's working. Whether I would make a dime off this, if I can help somebody feel better. And when someone actually texts me and says, oh my gosh, I don't even need coffee anymore. I feel amazing. I don't even feel that hungry. I don't have the urge to eat so much. And oh, by the way, my mom feels great too. So when I get that, I feel so good about it because they are feeling good. So my first thing is how are you doing? I'm great. Oh, you look great. What are you doing? Well, I chose natural over poison. And they're just like, oh my gosh, what do you mean? You know, I have a few family members that were a little bit skeptic that I quit everything from the hospital or the cancer center, but I feel so amazing. I feel great. I feel alive. And like I tell everybody, they told me I have 3 to 4 years. And I just say to them, if I have 3 to 4 years left, that is totally God's plan. Whatever God has in store for me, which I think this is it, because I didn't meet Christy on by accident. If I only have 3 to 4 years,
Shoot.
I'm gonna feel I was so drained taking the chemo pills, and so that's my story. That's how I sell it. That's how it starts.
Awesome. And you have complete posture, obviously, complete belief in what you're doing. That's obvious. And your passion just exudes from you. So it makes perfect sense. It goes hand in hand with what we've been saying. People are saying yes to you because of the passion you have for what it is. Do you tell them straight up that it's for Tandem, and then do you just send them your website, or how are you going about the technical side of
I do. I send them the 2020 link, first of all, and then I will send them, this is my link. If you have any questions on ordering it or what's in it, give me a call. I am a little new at this, so I know the natural ingredients that are in it. People will ask me, well, I've seen it on Amazon, or, you know, how do you know it works? And I come back with what Christy said. Did I know I had cancer? No. Do you feel you have high cholesterol? No. Do you feel you have high blood pressure? No. So I go into, you know, what the actual product does when it reduces the oxidative stress in your cells. And I always go back to the 2020 video of, it's like a rusting of a car. You know, you never heard of a 5-year-old getting Alzheimer's or dementia or heart disease because of the free radicals in the air. So my dad actually said, I can sell ice to the devil. Because if I'm really compassionate about something, I really want to learn more about it. And my daughter's getting married next weekend, so after the wedding, I will have so much more time to just concentrate on this. but people are texting me left and right. What is this pill you're taking? What are you taking? So I have a bunch more that want to know about it. So instead of just doing one by one, after the wedding, I have a meeting with about 7 women who want to know what I'm taking. So here's to maybe 7 more in another 2 weeks.
That's amazing. That's just amazing. And I love too how you kind of take it away from them. Whether you buy it or not, it doesn't affect my health. I just know what it's doing for me. I think that's another great tip too, is her posture with whether you get it or not, it doesn't affect me. At least I know that I'm doing my job by telling you that this exists, that this is out there. And Paula, I just think, like, God bless you that you were open enough to, God putting you and Chrissy together and you being open enough to listen and now being able to use your platform in the way that you are to affect and change so many other lives. You could have easily said no and just chosen the route of continuing on the path you were and then maybe not having that joy and not having that happiness. So I'm so proud of you. I just think you're doing amazing.
I just can't wait for Kansas because I'm going.
Yay! Oh, yay. I can't wait to give you a big hug there. So awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, you're welcome.
Appreciate it. Yeah, that's perfect, guys. That's the perfect example of that tip of you. You are the product and people will say yes to you. So if you find that it's hard for you to have that posture with people, maybe you're not plugging in enough. Maybe you're not plugging in enough to build your belief enough. You have to start somewhere, right? And even if it means your posture is in the fact that you don't know a lot, like Paula shared, look, I'm new at this. Say you're new again. Say you're relaunching. Say, I feel like a brand new person again, so I don't have all the answers. Jen Freeman did this 3-way call, and it was so beautiful, the transition she did. She's like, I'm just showing my friend how simple this business is by getting someone else on the phone that knows more than I do. Perfect. That was so perfect, right? Who wouldn't have posture in that? I'm just showing her how simple this is and getting someone else on the phone that knows more than I do. And it's being humble. It's humility, right? Saying you don't know a lot, even if you do. Allowing other people to go to work for you. Okay, so speaking of Kansas City, I have something I have to read to you. But I do want to do a shout out. Jen Freeman got a customer in this last week. So congratulations. Paula, like I said, got 3. Yep, and no one else on the list is on the call. So sorry. No. I'll do a shout out on Facebook. Okay, so this is this is my devotional from today. Okay, and it talks about community. So when we think of Kansas City, this to me is what it encapsulates, and this is what people need. This is not about going and showing up and getting to the parties and just rushing through stuff. This is about going and being present and allowing yourself to really feel the community, to know that you're not alone as you build this business. So it says community isn't just a luxury for when we have time. Community is God's command. Have you ever thought about the fact that the first problem that happened in the world was isolation? Think about it. God created a beautiful world and filled it. But after creating Adam, God was quickly moved to create Eve. But despite being created for community, we often put community on the back burner. In fact, Cigna's recent study of 20,000 people shows that half of Americans reported feeling lonely most of the time. But how can that be? We're more connected today than ever. No previous generation, for example, had the ability to know what mere acquaintances or even total strangers on the internet eat for breakfast. But here's where we often fall short of understanding. While we may be connected to more people than ever via our phones or social media, connection via a technology platform does not equal meaningful interaction. It's not the number of friends that we have that determines whether we feel connected or isolated. It's the depth of our relationships. Real community is being known and loved. And that kind of community doesn't happen by merely watching Instagram stories, posting on Facebook, and a handful of text messages. Facebook began when I was in college. I remember when I first got an account, I checked it a few times a week, and I remember having so much fun scrolling through messages on my wall and hearing from elementary school friends that I hadn't seen since I lived in a different city, growing up, or high school friends who had scattered across the country for college. That seemed to be how the majority of people I knew used it as well. But here we are, not even 2 decades later, and it's incredible how exponentially things have changed. We aren't checking social media multiple times a week on our computers. We're checking it multiple times a day on our phones. We're not required to get dressed and show up for church anymore. We can watch online or merely podcast our favorite pastoral personality whenever we want. There are thousands of memes dedicated to how rude it is to call someone without texting first. Walk into any restaurant and you will be hard-pressed to find a table that doesn't have multiple people sitting together staring at their phones. And we seriously wonder why we're lonely. Because we live in a world where if you're interested to see what your friend is up to, calls and gatherings are fewer and further between. It's much quicker to merely check their profile and give a like or a double tap. But if you have some extra time, you can leave a comment or send a quick text. And yes, that gives you the information you wanted for sure, but it doesn't offer you connection. It doesn't offer you community. Here's the deeper reality for us as believers. God doesn't merely suggest community. Community isn't just a luxury for when we have time. Community is God's command. But let me make sure that we're not making technology out to be the enemy. It's not a technology problem, but a user problem. Technology connection was meant to reinforce relationships, not to replace them. Take a look at your life and your habits. If you find yourself feeling lonely, examine how you're doing at living out God's plans and commands for community. His answers are there to guide us in the best way, and we never have to doubt. Community should matter to us because community matters to God. That is so good. It is so good. That is what we give people in LifeVantage. That is why we should have home meetings as much as possible. That is why you should attend LifeVantage academies. That is why if you don't have them, you should have a Super Saturday. That is why you should be the one to invite people to coffee. That is why you need to get out and get involved in things, because community is what it lifts us. It gives us confidence. It gives us that posture to have the belief in ourselves, right? So when we go forward and someone asks us what we does, that was great English. When someone asks us, what do we do? What we does, then we say, gosh. Then when they ask us what we do, we don't even think twice about it, right? We just go forward with love and with our hearts. So I hope that you hear that, and I hope that it really pushes you to get to Kansas City. I know it's not an easy thing. I know. I would say to you, the ones that are on the fence or that are thinking about it financially, be on your knees praying for God to help guide you to get there, right? He will show you those answers. He will show you the way to get there. And I would also say in the meantime, work hard to build your business. And if it's not happening building, at least it's happening where you're creating relationships, you're planting seeds, you're getting things in motion for when the season is right and he knows it's right for you, okay? All right, let me end the recording here.